I think we can be real at this point. Bronny doesn't pass the eye test, smell test, or whatever test you care to perform. I personally think he has his father's heart without the athleticism. The Los Angeles Lakers are undergoing a complex, high-stakes experiment. On the surface, the narrative is one of triumph. The Lakers sit second in the Western Conference with a 15-5 record as of December 2025, buoyed by the questionable acquisition of Luka Dončić, something that feels like trade Luka and you get Cooper type of acquisition, and this to pair with an ageless LeBron James or the enhanced LeBron James. However, the franchise's structural integrity reveals a precarious reality masked by star power. At the heart of this fragility lies the Bronny James Experiment, the decision to draft, sign, and roster LeBron James' eldest son, Bronny James, despite not being an NBA caliber talent. While the father-son narrative generated unprecedented media value, the basketball reality has been a slow-motion erosion of the Lakers' depth, defensive identity, and financial flexibility. By utilizing a guaranteed roster spot and $7.9 million in multi-year capital on a developmental project in a win-now window, the Lakers handcuffed themselves against the NBA's punitive second-apron luxury tax. The central tension of the Bronny James experiment is the chasm between his designated status as an NBA roster player and his statistical reality as a struggling G League assignee. To understand the magnitude of the Lakers' investment, one must first strip away the surname and audit the production. A look at the numbers, which paint a picture of a player who is not merely developing, but actively detrimental to his team's performance when on the floor. As of December 2025, Bronny James is in his second professional season. His NBA resume is negligible, consisting of 39 career games with averages of 2.1 points, 0.7 rebounds, and 1.1 assists. These numbers are often dismissed by apologists as typical for a late second-round pick. However, the true indictment of his readiness comes from his performance in the G League, a developmental tier where legitimate NBA prospects, even raw ones, typically showcase dominance or, at minimum, high-efficiency functional skills. Bronny James has shown neither. In the 2025-26 G League season with the South Bay Lakers, Bronny's statistical profile is alarmingly inefficient. A look into his G League stats reveals a player who is structurally broken offensively. An effective field goal percentage, EFG percent, of 38.6% is catastrophic for a 6'2" guard. In the modern NBA ecosystem, undersized guards must possess an elite skill, usually shooting or playmaking, to survive. Bronny is shooting 18.2% from three-point range on decent volume, allowing defenses to sag off him completely. This cramps the floor spacing, making it exponentially harder for teammates to drive to the rim. Furthermore, the net rating of -5.4 is the smoking gun. The South Bay Lakers are a worse team when Bronny plays. Despite being surrounded by other NBA-affiliated talent and ostensibly being too good for this level given his guaranteed NBA contract, the team bleeds points during his shifts. This contradicts the organization's public messaging, which often praises his winning impact and defensive instincts. The stats suggest that whatever defensive value he provides is completely washed away by his inability to score efficiently or space the floor. A common defense of the Lakers' decision is that the 55th pick is historically a throwaway selection, and thus using it on Bronny carried zero opportunity cost. While the hit rate for the 55th pick is indeed low, it is not zero, and the replacement level for an NBA roster spot is higher than what Bronny currently provides. Historical analysis of the 55th pick over the last decade reveals several players who carved out meaningful NBA careers, contradicting the notion that the slot is devoid of value. Patty Mills, 2009, a champion and longtime rotation staple. E'Twaun Moore, 2011, a consistent role player for a decade. Aaron Wiggins, 2021, a vital rotation piece for the Thunder. Guy Santos, 2022, a developing rotation piece for Golden State. The existence of Aaron Wiggins is particularly pertinent. Wiggins, drafted 55th, became a contributor for a #1 seed Thunder team by being an efficient, low-usage wing who could defend and shoot. This is the archetype the Lakers desperately needed to surround LeBron James and later Luka Dončić. By using the pick on Bronny, the Lakers essentially burned a lottery ticket that, while unlikely to hit the jackpot, had a non-zero chance of yielding a rotation player. With Bronny, the basketball chance was secondary to the narrative certainty. Moreover, the garbage time defense ignores the 2024 draft class context. The draft is not just about the specific pick number, but the pool pool of available talent at that stage, including those who went undrafted immediately after. The opportunity cost is measured against the best available player the Lakers could have acquired with that resource, the pick plus the roster spot plus the guaranteed money. Lakers head coach J.J. Redick and GM Rob Pelinka have consistently framed Bronny's G League assignment as a standard developmental pathway. However, the utilization suggests a protection program. Bronny is averaging 32.8 minutes per game in the G League. This is a workload typically reserved for players who are dominating the competition and need reps to stay conditioned for an NBA call-up. For a player shooting 34.1% from the field, this volume of minutes suggests a mandate from above to force-feed development, potentially at the expense of other South Bay Lakers prospects who might merit those minutes more on performance. The disparity is stark. Other G League guards with similar efficiency numbers typically see their minutes reduced or are waived. Bronny's minutes are fixed, implying that the organization is prioritizing the appearance of development over actual meritocratic competition. There is one set of rules for the 55th pick and another for everyone else. The Lakers entered the 2024 NBA draft with a clear mandate: maximize the final years of the LeBron James era. Every asset, no matter how marginal, needed to be deployed toward winning games in the immediate future. In this context, the selection of a long-term project like Bronny James becomes a strategic failure when viewed against the players who were available and ready to contribute immediately. We have identified 3 specific players available at the 55th pick or as undrafted free agents, UDFAs, who statistically outperform Bronny and fit the Lakers' positional needs, shooting, wing defense, far better. The most damning comparison for the Lakers is Justin Edwards. Once a projected lottery pick who slid out of the draft entirely, Edwards signed a 2-way contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. In the 2025-26 season, he has not only cracked the rotation of a playoff team, but is contributing meaningfully. Edwards provides exactly what the Lakers lack: a 6'7" wing who can space the floor and defend multiple positions. The Lakers could have drafted Edwards at 55, or they could have prioritized him as a UDFA. Instead, that roster spot and development focus went to Bronny. If the argument is that the Lakers needed a developmental player, Isaiah Crawford represents the superior choice. Crawford, a 2-way wing, is currently destroying the G League. Unlike Bronny, whose development is theoretical, Crawford's production is tangible. He is showing NBA readiness now. His efficiency highlights the gap in readiness between a productive college senior, Crawford, and a raw freshman, Bronny. The Lakers, being a team with limited draft capital, need to hit singles and doubles in the margins. Crawford was a double waiting to be hit. Bronny was a swing and miss. Perhaps the most frustrating miss for Lakers fans is Blake Hinson, whom the Lakers actually signed as a UDFA in July 2024, but subsequently waived. Hinson was an elite shooter at Pittsburgh. In the preseason and summer league, he showed flashes of being a laser from deep, the exact archetype LeBron James has thrived with for 20 years. By waiving Hinson to prioritize the roster flexibility for Bronny and others, the Lakers discarded a player with a defined, transferable NBA skill, shooting, in favor of a player with no defined NBA skill. This decision highlights the distortion of the Lakers' evaluation process. Fit with LeBron usually means, can you shoot? In Bronny's case, it meant, are you related? The most insidious part of the Bronny James experiment is the gap between what the public is told and what is happening behind closed doors in El Segundo. Publicly, the Lakers maintain a facade of normalcy. He's working hard, he's developing, he's earning his keep. Privately, the management of Bronny James is an operational headache. The Bronny James experiment has been a resounding success for the James family brand. It created history, it sold merchandise, it kept LeBron in Los Angeles. For the Los Angeles Lakers franchise, it has been a slow-motion liquidation of assets. The team is now locked into a roster with no depth, no draft picks, frozen or traded, and a massive luxury tax bill. When LeBron James eventually retires, he will leave behind a hollowed-out shell of a franchise, burdened by the contracts and choices made to appease him. It isn't that Bronny is bad at basketball, it's that the Lakers knew he was bad, drafted him anyway, and are now paying the competitive price for that decision every single night. The dynasty wasn't killed by a single blow, it was sacrificed, piece by piece, roster spot by roster spot, to build a monument to the King's final wish. Like, subscribe, and share, and tell me what you think of the Bronny James experiment. Thanks for watching.